I'm going to share my screen. All right. So, welcome to the call. Excuse me, that was disgusting. Welcome to the call. I wish I knew how to turn off messages. How do I do this? Sorry, guys. Options. Offline, invisible, available, away. I don't know how to mute that, but we'll see. So one of the things that I think that I do differently that really sets me apart is how I show up on social media. And I think that it is something that is really important and something that you have in your full control to set you apart on social media. Like, how do you make yourself stand out as a Beachbody coach? Because there are thousands and there are, I don't know, there's millions of just network marketing people all over the place. And so I want to share with you tonight how to build your brand and not just a business and avoid the walking billboard syndrome. And what I mean by that is, like, when you become a coach, a lot of times you become like, that's all you are. Or you become very one dimensional. You just talk about Beachbody, and it's super not interesting to people that are watching you. So a business is an organization that markets a product, service, or opportunity. A brand is the image and personality behind those business offers. It is the beating heart behind the screen. So, for example, my business is I am a Beachbody coach, but my brand is that I am a champagne drinking, F-bomb dropping, beauty product loving, crude sense of humor spewing, self-love encouraging wife, mom, and dog mom. See the difference? Being a Beachbody coach pays for my bills. It puts a roof over our head. But it's what I do. It is not who I am. And so I'm always trying to share on social media who I am, what makes me me, and because they can get Beachbody anywhere, right? It really is not about selling fitness and programs and selling our fitness programs and shakes. It's about the fact that you are the one selling it. And here's a snapshot of some of my quick snapshot of some of my social media posts. So this is maybe what you'll get when you go to my feed. And so I want you to think about kind of what makes you you. What are things that you can be an expert in that have nothing to do with fitness? And so you'll see if you go to my page, you will see fitness because that's a part of my life, but you'll also see drinking. You will see that I'm a mom, so you'll see my dog and my kid. You will see self-love posts. You will see me have living life in balance. You will see humor posts. I also like to share like beauty products and fashion items or things with you that I find that I love. So that way, when you come to my page, I'm providing value at every different angle, and I'm not just showing you that I can get my workout in and that I'm drinking this shake, right? I'm trying to let people in on all the different sides of me. And so I would really encourage you guys to think about your 5, 6, 7 things, whatever it is that makes you you, because at the end of the day, they can get Beachbody anywhere. They can go to Amazon, they can Google it, they can go to beachbody.com, but they can only find you in one spot. And if you're not showing them you, if all you're doing is showing them Beachbody, then you're only talking to people in that moment who are currently ready to take on a fitness goal. But like my friend Emily, and she's also leading this group with us, said the other day, she was like, when people are joining me, I have them fill out a form and I ask them, why do you want me as your coach? And she was like, hardly anybody ever says, because you lost 20 pounds with 80-day obsession, or because I like the way that you show up and work out. She's like, they're reaching out, they want to work with me because they say, I'm a military wife, so I can relate to that, or I have dogs too and I'm obsessed with them, or I love your sense of humor, or I just connected with your love for Chick-fil-A. So they're connecting with her on all the other things that make Emily Emily, not the fact that she's a Beachbody coach. And so what I want you to do is become a student of Selfie School. What that means is your job is literally to take selfies all the time. And I remember when I first started coaching, I used to think, like when you took selfies that you were narcissistic and self-indulgent. And now I take them all day, every day, and it's literally a part of our job. So to take good selfies, there's a couple tips that I can share with you. And one of them is get ready once in a while. Because again, you aren't, what you're really selling is a lifestyle. You're trying to sell them on the idea that what you have makes a better life, right? And so, of course, I show up as a hot mess all the time on my stories, but there are times where I think it's important to, put makeup on and to do your hair and get done up because it just looks more appealing rather than having it always be a mess. Or if you show up every day exhausted on your stories, that's not super inspiring to people, right? So if you have like just chaos everywhere or your energy is really low, so not only selfies in solid, pictures that you put up, but also selfies in the way that you show up on stories as far as like your energy and stuff. So get ready once in a while and kind of make your life look appealing. So of course, wear your hair down, do your makeup, whatever. And then when you do take images or anytime you're on stories and, capturing something, I think you don't have to curate stories nearly as much as your feed. I actually don't put any thought into my stories, but I still always try to find the best lighting. So that means that I'm always trying to, if natural light is the best, so I'm always trying to face the window and have my images and my stories be light, definitely images, light, bright, and eye-catching. And the best lighting, I think, is white natural lighting, which is why like getting outside is huge. And if you can't get outside, just getting to a window. And if it's dark out and you don't have the option of having, natural white light that is bright, invest in a ring light. Invest in, you can get them for like $100. Invest in something that's going to create great lighting, no matter how dark your home is or no matter what time of day it is. And of course, your food, it's the same thing. So selfies, yeah, you want light, bright, eye-catching, but same thing with your food. Food doesn't really look super appealing under yellow, murky kitchen lighting. Like take it to a window. And then as you have your images, edit them according to your personal brand, whatever that means to you. So I like to have a very colorful brand. I like to have lots of pops of pink. I like really bright and white. So I like to have a lot of highlights. I don't have a lot of warm. I use cool tones in my editing. I don't have a lot of warm. I actually take down the yellow like almost all the way, take down the warmth almost all the way. And I up the white and the highlights. But that's my brand. And there's, Angie has a really strong visual brand. It's very fun and kind of playful, but beautiful and, organized. I think Moira just bought a preset. Emily just bought a preset. I'm not sure about Amy Rada. I know Amy Silverman has a very strong visual brand that's completely opposite from me. Hers is kind of more dark and moody. So whatever it is that you're attracted to, Mandy Kai is another one who's a very strong like black and white visual brand. So there's all different kinds of ways to do it, but you just want to have a cohesive theme. And one of the best ways to do that now is buying a Lightroom preset that has like your basically photo formula for how you edit your photos that you can just one touch of a button apply to your picture. So it's super quick. But you can also just play around. And if you don't want to do a Lightroom preset, then just try to use the same formula every time you're editing pictures. So I also use the app Snapseed, and I just would go in and I would always make the same tweaks. So I think it's just really important to have a cohesive looking brand. Of course, smile into the camera. So don't look at yourself on the screen when you're taking a picture. Look into the lens of the camera. Get outside, I already mentioned. Play around with angles, timers, portrait mode if you have an iPhone, and then think before you make the post, would this image I'm about to put up stop a scroll? Your social media is your magazine, it's your storefront, it's your billboard. It's up to you to make it look pretty. And pretty is, it's up to you to decide what that means. Because if it appeals to you and it looks good to you, that's all that matters. Because you're only trying to find other yous out there. So here's a few examples I borrowed from some of my friends of different ways you can play around with angles and lighting. So this is Lori. She's indoor, but she took it to a window. This is Letty. She put it, she got outside. She got down low, so playing with a new angle, and she put her phone on a timer to take this image. She actually also has a little product placement here, which is great. She's got her Energize in a cup, which sparks curiosity. Emily here, this third one, you can see the window, it's dark out, but she has a ring light. You can see it right up here in the corner of her photo. She has a ring light. So even though it's dark out, she has bright light, a natural looking light that makes her photo more eye-catching. Tanya asked somebody to take a picture of her in portrait mode. And portrait mode's amazing. If you haven't tried it yet, it gives like this really professional quality to your photos where the subject is in focus, but everything else is kind of blurred, as you can see in this picture. You can also use objects or things that are on brand for you. So I use dogs and babies. I see, I don't know if she does this anymore, but Raina Odell used to do a lot of graphic tees. So she would use that as a subject. I see a lot of mugs that are, mugs with like funny sayings on them. That's a object that you can use. As long as it's on brand, that kind of breaks up the visual feed. This is my girl Autumn, who also set her phone up on a timer, and this one is of her and her husband when they were on vacation, which totally creates FOMO because it doesn't look like she's having a blast. Like, don't you want to jump in that photo with her and just do whatever it is she's doing? That's the idea. You want to create FOMO with your pictures. And then again, this is Janie having her superfood shake, but just doing a different angle. And I just want you to be thinking about that as you're making posts. You don't want to have the exact same sweaty selfie in your bathroom or your bedroom every single day, because what people are doing when they're going to your Instagram is they're doing a quick scan to see, is this interesting? And if it's not visually appealing, they're out. If it's visually appealing, then they're going to click on some images to see what the captions are. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But if it's visually appealing, they'll stop. They'll look at your post, and if it's great post, then you'll get a follow. But if it's all looks the same, and if it's like dark, murky images with yellow lighting, they're probably going to get out. And if it shows up in their Explore feed, if you're lucky enough to have your stuff show up in the Explore feed, you're not likely to have them stop their scroll. So just be thinking about that. Sorry, I'm getting all these texts. Okay, so as far as how you can connect via captions, I want you to think about creating fans and not just followers. So I know a lot of times we're like, we want more followers, how do I gain more followers? Think instead about how you can create more fans. And if you think about the people that you are mega fans of, like, right, I am a huge fan of Taylor Swift, and I am a huge fan of hers because I feel like I know her. I love that she writes her own music, so I feel like I get parts of Taylor that I would get if I was her friend, right? So think about the people that you love, and you want to know about their life. You're interested. You're a fan of theirs. You're not just following. You're interested in them. So think about that in the way that you show up on social media, and that means you are the main subject in your photos, in your captions. It's your stories, it's your images. You can have some kids, you can have some pets, but it mostly should be you. Also, have an opinion. You're allowed to spark controversy. You're allowed to feel a certain way. You're allowed to think the F word is okay, knowing it's going to offend some people. I get people all the time. Every week I get people commenting on my language, and I'm like, if you're offended by the F word, don't hang around, because I'm going to offend you by so many other things, right? It's okay to have some flavor, and it's actually kind of crucial. So, and then, evoke conversation, ask them questions, engage with your followers as they comment, respond back. When they answer your questions, respond back, and feel comfortable owning your truths. Meaning, if you feel strongly about something, you're allowed to have that. You're allowed to feel that way. And one of the most silly things is I used to be afraid of being too girly. I always loved the color pink, but I didn't ever want to say I loved the color pink. I didn't ever want to say that I was like girly or anything like that, because I was just afraid of what that meant or what people would think. And now that's a truth that I gladly own. I also gladly owned that I am not a classy person. Like, I don't think anybody, when they're describing me to somebody else, says, oh my gosh, she is so classy, right? And and that's okay with me. And there's going to be people who really think that I am offensive and gross because I'm not classy. Those are not my people. So whatever it is that are your truths, own them. It is okay to be who you are. Let people into your world and your personality, and you do that by owning your truth and having an opinion, and really sharing all of you, not just the parts that are really curated and what you want to put out into the world. Share the stuff that maybe you're not as proud of sharing also, because that's the stuff that makes you human, right? That's the stuff that people can relate to. They realize you've got your own struggles, you've got your own demons, you've got your own insecurities just like them. Sorry, it's raining and my husband's out with my kid walking right now, so that's why if I seem distracted, that's what's going on. I'm like waiting for him to say, can you come pick us up? Okay, so add value. Think about how can you serve your tribe today. So instead of just putting up your post-workout sweaty selfie saying, got my workout in, and then 30 Beachbody hashtags, hashtag 21-day fix, hashtag Beachbody, hashtag Joel Freeman, all the things that make you very one-dimensional and scream Beachbody coach. Think about, why did you push play on your workout today? How did you feel doing that? Why are you going to continue to do it? What did you do before or after to get ready or to like wrap up, right? Tell the story instead of just, I did it, A+, everything's great, I never struggle. Talk about it. Tell people, take people on the journey with you and think about how you're serving your tribe. So you should have, in every caption, it should evoke some sort of emotion. It should make them laugh, it should make them curious, it should inspire them or make them think, right? And then as you're thinking about telling your stories, some things to consider about how you can kind of create a caption is, who is the old you? So you can speak to that person, who you were, because the Ashley before Beachbody is very different than the Ashley of today. And sometimes I speak to that broken girl, the broken and depressed girl living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes I speak to the current Ashley based on what I'm struggling with now. And maybe that's my own body image issues, right? Or struggling with this new mom role that I've taken on. Sometimes I talk about my excuses and how I conquer it, or how I was letting it be an excuse for the last week or whatever, and now I'm planning on taking control again. I talk about what I'm hopeful about, that I'm dreaming, that I'm in control of my future, that I love getting on calls like this, and this is work, but it makes me excited, right? So what is it that you're hopeful about in the future? Talk about how you won today. What went right for you today? What was the lesson that came from that? I think it's really important to share your struggles and be vulnerable, but I think it's also equally as important to make sure that you're spinning it to win it. So you're not just sharing your struggles in a way that is like, I had such a shitty day, life sucks. Okay. Well, that's not really you being vulnerable. That's just you being negative. And at some point, like, you no longer own your social media. So you have to, like, I don't share about things until I have a solution, and or until I can like talk my way through it, or at least provide some sort of value. So you have to spin it to win it. I remember one time someone made a post about like all the political, they were like just bitching about all the political junk mail that they were getting when it was coming up to election. And I was like, okay, and like, who cares about that? Everyone's got their own shit. Everyone's got their own messes that they're dealing with. So you complaining doesn't inspire them in any way. It doesn't make them want to like work with you or change anything, because they've got their own struggle they're living in. And then finally, you have permission. Stop trying to connect with everybody. Understand that you have people that are just like you out there, and those are the only people that matter. It is more than okay and more than welcome for people to unfollow me. And if they send me message after message, like I just last week just blocked a few people because they were just, every message that they would send me on my story was like critical of something I was saying. Finally, I asked this girl, I'm like, why are you following me? And she wrote back and she said, because I like you. And I said, doesn't seem that way. I wrote back, in the messages where I'm like, doesn't seem that way, because everything you send me is nasty. And I was like, there's an unfollow button for a reason. And then she started typing back and I just said, here, let me help you. And then I blocked her, because it's like, I'm clearly not her cup of tea. And I don't need her negative energy in my life. And she doesn't need me in her life because I'm clearly bringing negative energy to her if all she's sending me is nasty stuff. So I just blocked her because she couldn't find the unfollow button. And that's okay. I don't need everybody to like me. I'm only looking for other people. Emily told me the other day, someone messaged her and said they found her through me, but they wanted to work with her instead of me because I'm too much for them. Okay, I'm too much for them. I'm going to be too much for a lot of people, and I'm not going to be enough for others. That's okay. So you have my permission to stop trying to connect with everybody and just connect with other yous of the world. Here's some ideas on captions. There are short and sweet one-liners. Something like, diamonds were a girl's best friend, and then yoga pants happened. And this could be you lounging on your couch in yoga pants, right? Just that's a stop, drop, and selfie moment. Negative wording is good. Something that's really powerful, like, I never thought I would feel comfortable in my own skin. And this could be something like you finally wearing a swimsuit for the first time, or you wearing a tank top for the first time. How many people don't show off their arms? Or the fact that you're even just in pictures with your family. How many moms hide behind the camera? Or if they have to be in the photo, hide behind their kids, right? So that could be, it's a really powerful statement, and then you tell the story to go with it. Ask them a question. Have you ever felt like you had no control over your life? And this could be maybe a business planting seed where it's you taking a picture at your computer or some sort of selfie, opening it with this, and then saying, I remember feeling like, because for me, my story would be like, I remember feeling like 3 years ago, I was going through the motions. I was checking boxes. I did all the right things. I went to high school. I went to college. I graduated. I got married. I got a great job. And it still felt like something was missing until I found this side passion thing. And that is why on a Monday, what is today? Tuesday night, I couldn't be happier to be sitting at my computer, getting more work in after working all day, because finally I feel like I have control over something that lights me up, right? So it's a light, bright, eye-catching image paired with a powerful caption. You can also use emotional power words like, I was destroying my body until I discovered my secret. And for this might be a caption that I would use where it's me drinking a margarita. And my secret is, it was never my body that was the problem. It was the way I thought about my body. It was never the margaritas that were the problem. It was the fact that I had made some foods off limits. I had decided that there was good food and bad food instead of just things you eat and things you don't. And now my secret is I embrace myself no matter what body I'm in, and I work from a place of love, right? So there's your story. You're connecting with people. You can also talk in numbers. 21 days ago, I was not the same girl. And this is maybe a transformation pic of you. And then you tell the story of the transformation you just went on. So I've kind of covered this, but I want you to stop selling Beachbody. And I want you to start selling your lifestyle. Going back to the business first brand, a business thinks they always have the right to sell, right? So if you think about Beachbody, Beachbody is the business. Beachbody is our business that we work with. But us, individually as humans, we are the brand. So Beachbody has a right to sell always. They are a business. All they have to do is pop out promotion after beautiful marketing ad. Like Carl, I talked to Carl and he was like, I don't care. I'm not trying to speak to new coaches. I'm only speaking to current coaches. So he is 100% business, right? And Team Beachbody 411, whatever, Beachbody Champions, like all of those things that are out there, they're businesses. We are brands. So we have to earn the right to sell. You have to give them a lot of value before, that jab, 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 right hook from Gary Vee. You have to do a lot of jabbing before you land that right hook. But I think we are not here. Our job as Beachbody coaches is not to sell fitness and programs and shakes and earn the most Success Club points. Our job is really to become our best selves. It's really to figure out what our solution is, what lights us up, and then be lit from within so bright that we can shine that light outward and invite other people to join us. We are shining our light for people who are out there waiting in the darkness. We are a lighthouse. And if you shine your light, people are going to come running, right? But you can't just be Beachbody. You have to be, maybe Beachbody is your solution, but you've got to be multidimensional. And remember that you always have to earn your right to sell. And at the end of it, I really want you guys, and I would encourage you guys to stop caring so much about other people's opinions. If your goal is to be a diamond coach or a star diamond coach or, an elite coach this year, borrow my confidence. Borrow Angie, Amy, Emily, or Moira's confidence. Borrow our courage. Act from a place of your future self. How would you act if you were an elite coach? Would you care about that hater that sent you that message? Would you care about that coworker that is making fun of the post that you put up? Would you care about your family who doesn't believe in your business when you're pulling in 6 figures a year? Because the future you doesn't care about those things. It's just the present you. But you never get to the future if you let other people's opinions stop you dead in your tracks. We get one life. We get one shot at this. And we are in control of how we want it to go. You are the architect of it. You get to design it how you want your life to be, right? So take control of your life. Take control of your brand. Decide that you're going to show up authentically as who you are, and you're going to share all the things that make you you. You're going to share the fact that you love the color pink and that you are girly and that you like the F-bomb and that you love drinking alcohol and that you have a crude sense of humor. Like all of these things that I hid from the world for so long, those are all the things that make me me. And when people are like, I love how real you are, it's because it feels so good to be me. And I didn't know that for years. I cared so much what other people thought that it held me back from being successful for the first 30. And I mean, I was successful. I did all the right things. On paper, it looked like I was successful, but I was miserable. I was unhappy because I was trying to please everybody else. I wasn't pleasing myself. That's actually why, like Robin Williams, when you hear about him, like why so many people, celebrities, they overdose or they kill themselves. And people are like, how could they do that? Everyone loved them, right? Everyone loved Robin Williams. The problem is everyone might have loved Robin Williams, but Robin Williams didn't love Robin Williams because he was trying to please everybody else and he didn't take care of himself. And as Beachbody coaches, it's our number one job to take care of us. And if we take care of us, we build confidence in ourselves, then we get to show up for other people that gives them permission to do the same. So that is how you build a brand and not just a business. I will look at this chat now and let me know if there's any questions or if you guys want to chat about anything. Otherwise, we can hop off. Let me see. Can you have the slides after? Yes, I will post them in. I do not have a recommended preset. I bought like 6 or 7 on Etsy and I just played around with them all until I kind of bought some and then made tweaks and created my own preset from that. Is it better to plan your feed than takes? Yes, I always plan my feed. So I take pictures based on what my feed needs. I kind of maybe know what my post is, but sometimes my feed will dictate what my next post is going to be. Okay, I was lost before Beachbody and lost myself. Beachbody got me back, but now I don't know what else is a part of me. What would you recommend for that? So that's actually a really common thing. I think we hide ourselves so well that we don't even know what we're interested in. But I would say, what are the things that you like to spend time doing? So when this question was posed to me a couple of years ago, like what makes you you, I had to think like, what are my hobbies? I felt like I didn't have any hobbies. I felt like fitness was a hobby, which I was told was not allowed to be one of my 5. I had to have other things. And so then I was like, well, what did John and I do? What do we do on the weekends? What do we spend our time doing? Like we go to bars. And like as a fitness coach, I feel like I was the first coach that I know of that really was like, okay, I'm a drinker. I'm going to make that a part of my brand and it's going to be okay. Because I didn't really see that. I still don't really see a lot of fitness coaches doing that. Like really embracing the fact that they like to drink. I remember Amy Silverman, I learned a lot from her in the beginning where she said, I didn't see any other coaches that looked like me or thought like me. She didn't look like your standard fitness coach, right? All tattooed up, like recovered drug addict or recovering. I don't know if you say recovered or recovering, but drug addict and You know, like she didn't look like anyone else, but she's been top 10 coach for 6 years or whatever it is. And then I also like, sometimes we think it has to be really big things. Like part of my brand is that I'm a mom. And before I was a mom, I was a dog mom. And if you don't have dogs, then what is it that you like to do? Do you just like to go out with girlfriends? Then that's a part of your brand, girl power, right? Just girls lifting up women, lifting up women. If you love ceramics, if you love reading, like I would start a book club if you're super into reading. There's just all kinds of things, and they can be big and they can be small. When my hair was purple and pink, unicorns became a part of my brand. You know, peanut butter can be a part of your brand. My friend Lori Stewart, like pizza and popcorn and Target are part of her brands. So it doesn't have to be big things. It can be small things too. But what are you spending your time on the weekends doing? Who are you following on Instagram? What do you search on Pinterest? You know, if you're into home decor, I implore you to make that a part of your brand, because I'm so interested in it. And I don't feel like there's like any Beachbody coaches. There are some Beachbody coaches who have beautiful homes. Like I feel like Nikki Whiting has a beautiful home, but she doesn't really make home decor a part of her brand. And I don't know her, but I'm like, please tell me your secrets. But anyway, so like whatever it is, and if you're into budgeting, make that a part of your brand, right? It's the sky's the limit. Do I recommend the ring light over a selfie phone ring light you just put on your phone? Yeah, I think they're both great. Do you have a specific posting schedule you stick to and post layouts? No, I don't. I don't want just too many selfies in a row. If you go to my feed, you can see, let's see. So I just posted the last one. Can't really see. So I did me and Rev. I did a transformation. This is still a selfie without a picture of my computer working out, or my national wake up call yesterday. It's me stuffing my face with cake. Someone took this of Emily and I at Super Saturday. This is when I got the, so you can just see, you know, I just try to break up my feed visually. So it's not just a bunch, and I'll look like, if there hasn't been a picture of me smiling and looking pretty in a while, then I'll put that up. That's why that one's there, because I didn't have one in a while, right? So I just try to have a bunch of different varieties, but I don't really have like a schedule. All right, you guys, that's all the questions I see. So hopefully this was helpful. I gotta go because I gotta go rescue my family. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another training, but I will get the replay posted as well as share these slides with you. Have an amazing night.